Jillian, for more Israel-Hamas war protests, let's bring in today's political panel. With me today is former Bush administration official Don Bramer and Democratic analyst Ari Aramesh. Gentlemen, welcome. Ari, let's start first with those protests we're seeing, pro-Palestinian protests. What's your assessment?
I listened to President Biden's speech the other night, a great speech. We support our ally Israel. But I got to speak about my party and a couple of members in the House that have actually fanned the flames. Congresswoman Rashida Talib of Detroit, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, and a couple of others in the squad. For about a year, Iranian women were going through one of some of the most brutal crackdowns. Today, another one died. Thousands of women were massacred by Bashar Assad, including 3,200 Palestinians in a refugee camp. We pulled out of Afghanistan, and the Taliban has been brutally murdering men, women, and children. One, maybe two tweets in 12 months. The past 2 weeks, the level of outrage by these two members in my party has been so disproportionate, as if you think there is some sort of a... let me go back to June 7th, 2021 tweet by Ilhan Omar. This is 2 years ago. She says, all atrocities by U.S., Israel, Hamas, Taliban should be condemned. This is 2021. She's putting Israel, the U.S., Hamas, and Taliban in the same boat. I think Detroit deserves better. I think Minneapolis deserves better. And I think we should do something in the primaries to do something about this. But I stand with the president. We support our ally. We should give Israel what it needs. We should give Ukraine what it needs. And this is, we have China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea as long-term strategic adversaries. And we should do all we can to strengthen our allies and also, strengthen our resolve.
Don, how do you see it?
Well, good morning. I think that what we see, and I'll reiterate my colleague here, looking at Israel, looking at Ukraine, these are two very strong allies of ours that we have to support because, for lack of a better word, Russia is a front for China right now. Palestine, Hamas, they're all a front for Israel or Iran right now. If we don't support them now when they need us, we're going to need allies in the future, most definitely at some point. So we have to supply them. But we could be deploying U.S. forces and U.S. troops heavily right now in engagements, but we don't have to because our allies are carrying out the fight for us. And all they're asking for is our support and our equipment and our knowledge. And I think we should do that.
Okay, let's pivot to Capitol Hill. And today, a key House Chairman, Mike Turner of the Select Intelligence Committee, said aid for our allies is not being held up so far due to the lack of a speaker. Let's play it.
Clearly, having a House that's not function is certainly a security threat for our country. This aid package, though, is not being delayed as a result of the House. At this point, the Senate has taken up this aid package. It looks like it'll be about 2 weeks before that package comes out of the Senate itself.
All right, House Republicans are going back to the drawing board. Now 9 members running to be Speaker. Does it end soon?
2 weeks. If we're going to have a package out of the Senate, is the House going to be ready to vote by then? This is chaos. Xi of China, communist China, Putin of Russia, Khamenei of Iran always make the case that democracy is chaos. Democracy is disarray. This is helping their cause. This is proving their point. We should get a speaker. Republicans should get together and end this civil war. Leader Jeffries has talked about a bipartisan solution, but unfortunately there are some sort of extreme elements in the GOP conference that just don't want to have anything to do with Republicans. But whatever happens, we need a Speaker of the House. Otherwise, we don't have a House of Representatives. This is the first time this is happening. It's hurting us domestically. It's hurting us internationally. And it's making us look like fools on the international stage.
Don, what do you see happening?
Well, I think we definitely need a Speaker. But the packages are moving along. The committees are still acting. The committees are still functioning. Once we get a Speaker, then those actions can be brought to the floor. Both sides of our Democrats and Republicans have factions in either side that often get in the way. What I'd like to see is, rather than bring these arguments and these debates to the floor, come to a solution behind closed doors, not make it public, not give those members who live off the benefit of tweets and social media what they want, so that we can face the country's business, find a resolution, and get to voting, get it done. But let's not make this a Twitter war.
Well, it seems to me that the Republicans who blew up the Speaker got all the attention, were able to increase their brands, raise money off of it. The incentive structure is all off on the Hill, right?
The moment that Kevin McCarthy went up for a vote, like a lot of us, my phone lit up with people asking for money, whether whatever faction you're from, and we're still seeing that tonight. There are some great candidates that are up for speaker right now. There are some seasoned veterans, and then there's some freshmen or some young guys. Both could be good if we just come together, find a solution. General Bergman, I think I'd like to have see where we can do with him.
All right, we're basically out of time, but very briefly, should Democrats pick somebody off the list and say, if that person comes to a floor vote, maybe we help? Not
if they're not going to get anything in return from the GOP. Problem is the GOP majority in the House is razor thin. They can only lose by now four votes or five votes. Chances are, if this GOP conference can't get united behind a candidate, they will have to reach out to Democrats. But there has to be compromise, and that is the essence of American politics.
All right, Don.
Thanks
so much for your time. Jillian?
Thank you, Michael. The president